Alright, today we're going to do a wheel bearing replacement on all four corners on this 2018 RZR Turbo. Pretty standard procedure, but for anybody that had any questions on how to do this, hopefully this will help you. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take the tire off, obviously, but you're going to take the pin out, take the axle nut off. You're going to take your radius rod bolts out, top and bottom. You're going to take your brake caliper off. These two bolts right here, they're 15 millimeters, and your radius rod bolts, they are going to be 18 millimeters. Back to the axle nut, that's an 1/16" socket. So once you get the caliper off and you get the brake rotor off, there's going to be, I believe, 4 15 millimeter bolts that you'll have to put a wrench on the backside to hold it, and it'll take this whole bearing carrier off of here, this aluminum piece. And I'll get all this out of the way so you can see it. All right, so I got the brake caliper off, I got the brake caliper off. So now the axle nut's off. You're going to take this rotor and slip it off of there. Those bolts, there's 4 of them right there. You can see them, 15 millimeters. You can just kind of slide your axle out of the way. I've only got one hand to work with, so get your axle out of there, and as you can see, you can back those up with a wrench. Take this whole piece off. All right, so I got the bearing carrier, got it off over here on the workbench. There's gonna be a snap ring. It's an internal snap ring right there. You're gonna take it out. Once you take the snap ring out, what you're gonna do, in my opinion, is buy one of these little nifty tools. Quad Boss makes one. You can get them on Amazon. But anyways, once you get the snap ring out, you put it in your press like so, and you're going to put that in from the other side, and that'll press your bearing out. Alright, so we got the rear carrier bearing in there, getting ready to push the wheel bearing out. I'll show you how good this tool is. Press that one out. Like that. Alright, so the bearing's out. You're going to want to take a rag, clean this out real good. Sometimes I like to put just a little film of grease in there just to help it out, but it's not necessary. Alright, so there's the old bearing. We're going to be replacing it with one of these heavy-duty Polaris bearings. They're about $75 a piece, but they're worth every penny of it. They're a lot more sturdier than the ones that come on from the factory. Basically, you'll just go in the opposite of what you did pushing it out, push it back in. But when you get this tool, one side of it's got this ear on it to grab the outside of the bearing versus pushing on the middle for when you're pushing it out. So it'll go in just like that. You won't need this piece going back in on the rear. We'll get it pressed back in there and get back with you. Alright, so the bearing's in, and basically you just need to repeat all the steps that we did to get it off of there. Put this thing back together, and I'm going to get this back together and move to the front. Alright, so I've already taken the axle nut loose. It was an 1/16", just like on the back one. You got to pull the pin out, pull the nut off. What you're going to want to do first is pull this brake caliper off, get it up and out of your way. Then you're going to take this bottom A-arm loose at the ball joint. Take this 15 millimeter bolt out, and then you're going to knock this A-arm down, get it out of your way. Then you're going to take a 19 millimeter and take the bottom nut off of this tie rod. Okay, you're going to put some pressure with your hand, pull up on this tie rod, and give it a good hit on the side right here to help jar it loose. If that don't work, you can always take your nut, put it back on there, hit it out from the bottom. Once you get that out, go ahead and take off your top bolt off your top A-arm, and everything should come right off. Okay, got the snap ring out. So now what I'm going to do is you're going to take, if you've got this tool, it goes like that. You're going to put it in your press like so, and then you're going to use the smaller end to press that bearing down. I'm going to get it pressed out, and I'm going to press the new one back in, and then I'll get back. All right, got the new wheel bearing in, and I'm just going to go over how I would put it back together. Is I would start by slipping it over your axle shaft, coming up onto your top A-arm. You want to slide this top ball joint into that hole first, get your bolt in it, and then you're going to bring up your bottom A-arm into the bottom of this. So get your A-arm secure, make sure your axle's in there, and once you get that done, you're going to want to go ahead and pop your tie rod in, tighten it down, put your rotor on, tighten your axle nut, and then put your brake caliper on last, and make sure you get everything tight, and you're good to go.